You want to catch massive catfish? Here's all the sneaky catfishing tricks to do just that. This is not clickbait, it's catch bait, baby. Catching more and bigger catfish consistently always starts and ends with bait, but not the kind you grab on a store shelf. Catfish love the bizarre and fermented kind, so let's mix up some nasty. First is garlic marinated Spam cubes that you've been aging in your hot car with the windows up for 3 days. And mashed up sardines in oil mixed with cherry Kool-Aid, clam juice, and rotten expired eggnog. And rotten chicken you've had aging in a glass jar in the hot sun for a week, mixed with cornmeal, oyster extract, garlic oil, and molasses. You hungry yet? Because if the catfish hear about these, they will literally be jumping out of the water to get them. Obviously, if you're using any of these types of concoctions, just make sure you avoid any harmful dyes that could harm the fish or the waterways. Nothing I mentioned will harm either. Hey, now's a good time to like this video, hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you're always updated with our latest posts. Let's keep going. Okay, next up, location matters, just like it does in real estate. The biggest catfish are usually going to be hunting and exploring in the dirtiest and weirdest edges of the ecosystem that they live in. So anywhere you have stormwater outlet pipes after heavy thunderstorms, get there quick. They'll be loaded with runoff nutrients, insects, and lots of feeding confusion. Of course, always around industrial bridges with lots of concrete riprap because the heavy structure and concrete radiates warmth at night, which draws in baitfish and in turn attracts monster flatheads especially. And of course, blues and channels too when you're night fishing. And of course, no matter what body of water you're fishing in, find deadfall timber and sunken logs in any shadowy river bends where big flatheads are known to dig deep into the structure and hide in ambush mode. And always remember to use the wind to your advantage, especially when you're catfishing. Make sure you're casting upwind, and that lets the scent trail feed directly with the current, which will increase your potential for catfish encounters exponentially. Okay, now let's rig up for success and play a little psychological warfare along the way. First things first, you don't need to overspend on gear. It's the baits you're using and the location that you put the baits in that matter most. But you do want to use an 8 to 9 foot heavy catfish rod with a strong backbone to absorb the fight, and a longer rod also allows you to cast out farther into the deepest holes and hidden spots. And candidly, this type of gear setup is going to cover you in 90% or more of your fishing situations. Make sure you've got good collapsible mud spike rod holders for bank fishing that won't slip or fail you if you do land a giant. And we always use at least 50-pound braided line for catfishing and 100-pound for flats and blues, because it's super strong, abrasion resistant, and yet still sensitive enough to feel a fly that lands on your rod in the dark. And as a reminder, here's a great hack. You always want to fish 2 to 3 days before and after full moon cycles, because catfish will feed heavier and much more aggressively during that time. Okay, we hope that you're still with us and you've gotten some great tips and hacks thus far that you'll start using right away next time you're out whisker hunting too. So let's now talk about some really great secrets and tips that the pros are never going to tell you, but we certainly will. First is to fish just before a storm front comes through, and this will work in every season. Barometric pressure drops trigger feeding frenzies in catfish and bass especially because of their prominent lateral lines. So just make sure that you're using a good weather app and you're tracking the falling pressure, and you hit the water as soon as the reading dips below 29.80, and you'll catch the biggest monsters that are on the move. And here's a really great hack we bet you'll love, and we hope you're still with us. If you want to outfish everyone else on that lake, you can use a syringe or bait injector to inject liquid shrimp extract or oyster extract into the cut bait or other baits that you're using, which is going to leak out gradually as you fish it. And it really is a magic stink bomb with its own built-in timer. Boom. And you've heard us talk about this tip over and over again in all of our videos. When you're using heavily scent-infused baits and sloppy baits, you can just wrap them up in thin pantyhose so you can cast them out farther and get them to stay together better if nylon is legal by you. This is actually how tournament pros get their baits to work overtime for them all the time. Okay, folks, we're getting towards the end. We've given you the playbook now of all the insider secrets and hacks and tips to catch more and bigger catfish more consistently than anyone else around you through scent layering, structure sniping, and psychological bait warfare. Now it's up to you to use each and every one of these and just label them the family secrets the next time you're posing in the local paper with a record trophy cat catch that you're holding up. And remember, folks, that catfish are always called the swimming tongue. That's because their bodies and whiskers are covered with thousands of taste buds that they use to detect and find food sources and prey, even in murky water and especially at night in the dark. So every bait that you throw out there has to be strong smelling and nasty. If it makes you gag, then it's going to be perfect for the catfish. So old and spoiled and rotten meat scraps, don't throw them away. Use them for catfishing because they're surely going to work really well, especially if you get them down on the bottom where the biggest catfish are lurking. And don't be afraid to try new combinations. Get the baits down there. And if you don't get a bite in 20 to 30 minutes, change spots because they would have found the bait bomb by now. So just reel in, rebait, change locations, and start again. Please remember to like this video, share it with your fellow fishing enthusiasts, and hit the subscribe button and notification bell to stay updated with all of our latest fishing tips, tricks, hacks, tutorials, expert gear reviews, and gear recommendations to up your fishing game. Tight lines, my friends. We'll see you out on the water soon. Go get a whisker, baby. Okay, folks, thanks for watching. Please like this video, hit the subscribe button before you leave, and don't forget to enable your bell notifications so you never miss another great video coming your way.